What's going on, people? So now that the fourth quarter of 2020 is past and in the history books, it's now time for me to do my fourth quarter pickups video, because that's how that works. Also, I had to wait for some shoes to pop up that were ordered towards the end of the month, and all that things. Actually, also, while I'm on that note, I just did my top shoes for last year, and I had waited on that one because I wanted to make sure I got everything in that I was expecting to get in and see how everything fit into the lineup or whatever. Yeah, could have done that video earlier because none of the stuff that showed up after the year ended was in the top 20 or top 10. So whatever, it is what it is. So here we go. Let's just do this because it's going to take forever. All right, this right here, this box is empty. It is the Alphabounce slides, right? So I had a black pair. I gave them to my cousin when he came down here. He kind of liked them, and since they had never left the apartment, I was like, hey, I've only worn these around here. I'm like, if you want them, he's like, yeah, cool. So I bought myself a new pair, and it's the red pair. There's that for you. Now, moving on next, got a pair of shoes here. This would be the new Uncaged that Adidas put out recently. I have my own particular thoughts on these. If you want those thoughts, I have a whole review about it. So please go check that out since you're interested. Anyways, so there's that. Hopefully they come out with some other colors at some point. Maybe they'll make me like them a little bit more or whatever, but we'll see what happens. Another pair of Ultraboost. The old 1.0, the Ultraboost right here. So there's that for you. These just came in not too long ago. Really wanted them. This particular color kept selling out though. So it was a game of patience, But in the end, it did work out. So there's that for you. All right. Put this back. Again, my parents are coming by in a little while, so I'm trying to keep this relatively clean. Normally, I just throw these boxes wherever and deal with it eventually. Not today. What is this? Probably the carbon, I guess. I recognize this Hibbit thing. Yep, there you go. The Carbon 350. These came out at some point in the end of last year, and I picked them up. So there we go. They look a little better than I expected them to look when I saw the initial pictures and whatnot. I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. Turn that way. Up next, we have a 4D box, right? Well, it's a box that says 4D. I mean, the box itself, not necessarily 4D. But anyways, this right here, the 4D Run 1.0 in the Glory Blue colorway, courtesy of a super sale on sneakers and stuff. I think these were around 120, which, I mean, it's still a lot, you know what I mean? But when those things came out, a lot of the 40s, when they came out, they were in that $250, $300 range. Some were $350. I was not living that life, okay? Not at all. This right here got us a Nike by You box. So this one, some of you guys may remember, these were designed by BX, and then I thanked him by buying him a pair. Not in this colorway. I let him choose his own colorway, right? So yeah, it was a pretty alright little live we did a while ago. And these shoes are amazing as far as quality goes, and they got here super fast. I got these things faster than some shoes that I have just ordered from Nike, right? They actually have to make these things. Crazy how that works, isn't it? Up next, we have another Nike shoe. This one is the Vapormax 2020. So there's that for you. I forget the colorway. I think it's stone blue and glacier blue. I remember because I used Glacier in the thumbnail, right? Remember Glacier, WCW? Anyway, so yeah, these. Still haven't worn these. Maybe that'll happen soon. Actually, it has to happen soon because the Ultraboost 20s are out now. And that usually means performance review things have to happen. But to do that, I have to know what I'm talking about. So that means I gotta start wearing those things. I just finished one of those performance reviews. I think that video goes up to tomorrow? Was that in tomorrow's batch? I don't know. Either way, this right here, the UNC 9s, got this little sparkly thing going on. Depending on how things go, I might be picking up another pair of 9s tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Don't take that as me turning into some huge 9s fan. If you saw the color, you know why I want them. Those, I just happened to win the raffle, and I was like, well, Let's do it. It was a finish line raffle. You know, you don't say no to that because you barely ever get them. What is this? The Naturals or something? Yes, it is. The Natural 350. I wore these a little while ago. You can kind of tell by that dingy bottom. Yeah, I don't like them. Moving on. This is the Sand Coat. So there you go, there's that. It's got that little clay styling on the outside, something more like the Earth Cineway on the inside. I like that clay color. I just don't know how I feel about it on this. I'm leaning towards that I don't like it, but yeah, whatever. Another 350 never hurt, right? I mean, unless you're like trying to pay like resale prices, then don't do it. This box is empty because these shoes are down here. This right here, the Oreo Ultra4D, right? Or 4D, Ultra, whatever. Something, Ultra4D 5.0. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, these right here, these are out because I'm going to be putting those on in a little bit when I run off to do some stuff, right? But yeah, pretty cool shoe. These are one that I really thought was going to make the top for the last year thing, and I liked them a whole lot, but they just didn't quite make it. You know what I mean? They could have been an honorable mention or something, but I chose not to do that. This is an Asics box, and inside is an Asics shoe. One of the original Asics shoes. Well, at least of this colorway. I mean, at least of this model. The Gel Lyte 3 and this white and orange or whatever they wanted to call it. So yeah, these are really nice, man. Like, you should check these out if you don't have them. Or at least in a colorway you like. But just as far as the shoe goes, oh yeah, very nice. Very nice. Super comfortable, very cheap. You know, what's not to like about that? I don't know. You tell me. Up next, got us a New Balance. This is those Kawhi Leonard 997S's. So these right here, I didn't know that when I bought these. I just liked the colorway, so that's why I got them. But yeah, these right here are very nice, very comfortable. I don't know. I think, yeah, I guess I haven't worn them much, but I probably wore them like the one time or something. Or maybe I just wore them for a review. Either way, they're very comfortable. And super affordable right now. You can find that particular colorway in a lot of places for like maybe 50 to 60, something like that. People every now and then, like, they'll comment on reviews that I do and they're like, I bought these for this amount of money. It's like, one, quick rant, I honestly don't care, right? Like, if I'm walking through the mall and I see somebody wearing a pair of shoes that I have, I'm not gonna go up to them and be like, I bought those for $100, because it'd be stupid. Don't let me stop you from leaving your comments though. That's just my personal take. I still respond to you though. Anyways, here's this. This is an Air Max 2 Court Purple, right? These are supposed to be going to my brother. I just wanted to get one good wear out of them at least before I did that. And I kind of forgot that they exist. So that's on me. But really nice shoe. I only bought those because I wanted to do a fresh review on them since my first review was like years ago. Actually, yeah, I can say that now that I've been doing this for a while. But it was probably seen by like 10 people. And I wanted to remind people, hey, this is out there and it's pretty alright. Speaking of, these are also out there and pretty alright. The Air Max 97 in Radiant Red. They also released two 90s, the original and then one with slightly inverted colors. This was the one that had my attention the most because I'm a big 97 guy. So I really wanted those, and luckily I was able to make that happen after driving. Well, no, that was the ones for my dad, but we'll get into that in a minute. Those, I almost missed it though, because they were selling out. Here we have this. These were not selling out. This is the Varsity Red or Reverse Flu Game 12s that came out around that same time frame. Not everybody likes these. Most people actually don't like these. But you know, the thing is, like, I've been seeing these a lot, like, on people wearing them, you know? So maybe it's just that whole thing that I always say where, like, you hear the most from the people that have negative things to say, but the people that have good things to say, they usually just get drowned out by those other people, right? So there's a lot of people out there liking those Varsity Reds. It's just there's a lot of people that are a lot louder that don't. So then we have this right here. Put that out of the way, kind of, sort of. Photo Blue, what is this? Nike React Vision, right? These things are crazy comfortable. It's like one of those hidden gems in the comfort world. Like, if you don't have a pair of these and you like good gym shoes or just good casual walk around all day shoes, look into a pair of those because they are super cheap most of the time and they come in a pretty decent range of colors. What is this? Okay, this is the Ultraboost 1.0 in Solar Red. I picked these things up from Concepts. Got a pretty good deal on them. I had given up on them a while ago, thinking I'd never get that set completed, and then I did. But that's another story for another day. Actually, you know what? That is a story for today, but that story actually happened like an hour or something ago. If you see my top shoes of 2020, you'll see that story, or you'll hear that story. Unless you watch with the captions on, then you can see the story. Moving on. These are also in that video. These right here, these Safari Air Max 90s that I won from a raffle through Well Gosh. Yeah, these things are pretty alright. Pretty alright. I really like Safari shoes, you know. I just don't get a lot of them because they're usually like, it'll usually be like a dunk or something or some other limited thing and then everybody wants it. Luckily that didn't seem to be so sought after, but I do like them and that's all that matters. I also like these a lot. These right here being the Anthracite Foamposite Ones, right? So picked these up thanks to a huge assist from E-Money Shoes. Let me show you the bottom because for a second there I slipped into review mode. But I picked these up thanks to E-Money Shoes. It's really, really nice when people are out there also in this little sneaker community and willing to help people get stuff, right? As I said before, many people will say that they will, and some people will actually follow through with it. This right here, this is one of those cases where I was a little on the fence about something, but I heard enough good things from the people that matter to go ahead and try it out. And this right here, I gotta say, like, if you're looking for a running shoe and you want something that can kind of compete with the Ultraboost as far as comfort goes, these light strikes, these SL20s right here, this is definitely something to consider. Like, that model is kind of done with right now, but there are other light strike shoes out there, so you just got to kind of look for it because they're not always in the title or whatever. You just got to kind of know or research, I don't know, whatever. This right here, the Dark Concord 12s. This was kind of an underwhelming one to a lot of people. I was a big fan of it. Well, I don't say I was a big fan of it, but I like them a decent amount, given that they're super plain. Normally that's not my thing. But this black and this purple, it just makes a good look to me. And it also reminds me of The Undertaker or Evil. So that's a good thing. Set this here. Trying to make sure like none of this stuff is too deep in the shot, you know what I'm saying? So that way you don't get this blocked. Now, coming up to the end of this, thank God. So, here we have this, the Bread 350, right? A lot of people were talking about these a lot, like years ago. I didn't hear a whole lot of talk about them when they were coming out, other than like the normal, hey man, you see those? I gotta get those gotta make it into the collection, said every person on YouTube. And then, some of us got them, some of us didn't, some of us paid retail, some of us didn't. Whatever. So there's that. And then moving on to over here, the last shoe. These I happened to get from, what's that thing called? Sneaker Politics. I really wanted these, but then they sold out immediately. For what reason? I don't know. Because after they sold out, apparently they just went to StockX and Go for retail or under. So it's like, what was the problem? Maybe people didn't understand how to read a sizing chart and they didn't buy the size they need. It has a sizing chart. I don't understand the question there. But anyways, these right here, the Air Prestos, really wanted them. Sneaker Politics came through from deep down in New Orleans, home of Jesus Christ, aka Thriller, the best YouTuber out of New Orleans. Yes, I said it and he will back me up on it. There's that for you. So, one last thing before we part ways. This right here, this is where we dip into the honorable mention type territory. So I did buy a couple shoes that stand out that weren't for me, right? This one being the Air Max 97 in a cowboy sort of colorway. So maybe you remember the the long story that I gave about these in the review. Yeah, it took a lot of work to pull these off, but I did it. And now here they are. These are going to my dad for his birthday, which is actually my birthday as well, just different years, because otherwise it'd be odd. So, I bought those for him. Also, what you don't see here is a pair of Air Max 95s that I bought for my mom, those neon ones. If you saw my rant, you know why they're not here. And also what's not here is my sister's UNC 9s. Those are actually in the closet because I didn't pull them out, you know what I mean? I was supposed to give them to her, but I ended up not seeing her around Christmas because something came up. But anyway, so I bought those 3 pairs of shoes for the family because, you know, I buy stuff for me, but you also got to spread the wealth just a little bit. And I bought a pair for BX, but I think I mentioned that earlier. So now we're good, now we're done, now we're going to part ways. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I got to go and do some stuff now. So I'm going to go do some stuff now. Later, people.